Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create MCP service with this XPack AI. As you can see, turn your MCP into a business, build your MCP marketplace in just 3 minutes. This is free and this is open source, super cool. And we're going to create something like this. As you can see, I log in and then we have basically the host right here. I can create MCP and etc. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, I'm going to explain to you what is MCP service. So for example, you have application that have chatbot, so user can basically talk to the AI, right? So in this case, this user asking question like convert this address to coordinate. And then AI agent can basically understand what user want in this case, right? AI agent is basically like ChatGPT or something like that. But AI agent in this case doesn't have any data to make a response back to the user. So that's why AI agent is basically use the MCP server to find the right tool. And then MCP server then call the real API into the Google Maps, right? And then the result goes back through the MCP and then go to the AI, and then AI will answer the user question, right? Just that's it, right? I hope you understand what's happened right here. So let's go back to the XPack AI right here. As you can see, we can just basically see all the MCP server that available on this XPack AI. As you can see, there's a lot of here, right? And we can basically create our own MCP right here. This is just for example that I create. And anyway, so let's try to just sign in, right? You have to sign up first, I believe. After you sign up, you can just sign in with your email and password. And then now you own your own subdomain right here, right? In this case, I have chandev.xpack.host, right? If I click this icon right here, now this is my own subdomain, right? As you can see here, we have the logo, home icon, sign in, and etc. So I have this example right here. Cool. So let's try to go back in here and we are going to create new MCP. So let's try to create that. So now as you can see, if I click the create MCP button, as you can see now, there's a two option. The first is you can upload the OpenAPI file and then you can just put your URL website. So first I'm going to show you how to do with this OpenAPI file, right? You can just put the file right here. So anyway, I already have a project, right? This is just written using next.js and Swagger. So let's take a look on the browser right here, right? Localhost 3000/docs. As you can see here, there's a couple of routes in here, right? Like articles, this basically will get all the article that I have, and then this is basically for specific article. That's why we need ID in here and post and then just get for search. So anyway, let's take a look at the project a little quick. As you can see on the app right here and then docs, right? This is the page. Just super simple, right? We have the Swagger UI from the Swagger UI React and then just import the styling and then just render the Swagger UI, and then the URL it should be on the API/docs. So let's take a look on the API/docs. So this one right here. So this basically just return next response.json, and what I just returned is basically the get API docs. So let's open the get API docs. I just returned the create Swagger spec, and then the API folder is API/app/API, and then the definition OpenAPI 3.0.0. This is the info, right? The title, version, and the description. Right, so as you can see on the article, this is basically super simple, right? I just want to put all the code on description, so just don't worry. This is just for example, right? This is for specific ID, and then this is for the search. All right, just that's it, super simple. If you go right here into the ID, for example, I'm going to grab the ID one, right? So let's try to search the ID one in here. Try it out. I'm gonna put ID one, let's click execute, and hopefully we have the data, right? Here we go. So we have the data right here, right? And of course, this should be works on the how to copy that URL. I'm not sure how. So I just want to copy this one and then open the browser and then go to API/articles/one, for example. If I hit enter, as you can see here, we have the ID one, right? This is just like a normal REST API. So now, as you can see, if I click this API/docs, right, we have this file in here, like a JSON file, right? This is basically what we are going to copy and then paste that into the, let me just go to right here, right? Into this MCP right here. So let's try to just copy everything in here, right? I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to open my iTerm terminal here. Let's go to my document, develop, and then in here I'm going to create a folder called task MCP, for example. And then I'm gonna cd to that folder, and then let's open that folder on VS Code. And then in here, I'm going to create a file, right? Call OpenAPI dot should be .json file, right? Just do that, and then I'm gonna paste that right here, the file. But don't forget to put the server URL. This is really important. Basically, you can just put servers and then put an array and put an object in here. You can use URL and any live URL you have in here, right? This is just for example. Normally you have to put your own URL, live URL in here, because this is really important. This is basically will tell MCP where your API is and the AI know where to call, right? It's really important. Just make sure you put servers in here. So now what we have to do is let's click this choice file and then just find the OpenAPI file. And basically this is the file, right, that we already copy and paste. So now we can just click open, and then as you can see, parsing OpenAPI document. Just wait for that. Here we go. So now we on the server detail, right? As you can see, you can just change the server ID, the server name, description, API endpoint, and etc. So the pricing right here, you can set that per call, or you can set that per milli tokens. You can just put the value in here to generate money with this MCP server. So for now, I just want to use free, right? And then for the API endpoint, I'm going to click this icon here, open a new tab. I'm going to copy that link and then go back in here and then put that as a API endpoint. And I'm going to use API slash test, for example. So for the request header, you can just leave that empty, but I'm going to put this authorization in here, and I'm going to put the API token right here. So let's just paste that right here, right? Better, and then API token. I'm going to make it small, as you can see, better space your API token. And then you can just put any text you want in here. I'm going to say like just task, hit enter, and etc. So now you can just click publish, right? It basically will publish your MCP, right? This one right here. This is the knowledge-based API. You can just click this edit and just trying to edit whatever you want in here. You can change the pricing and whatever you want, right? So let's go to the tools management, and as you can see, this is all the road, and then this is the detailed description. Basically, you can just put text whatever you want. You can make this bold or highlight or whatever. As you can see, basically everything is just works, right? We have the preview right here, super nice. So let's try to save that, and then let's try to click this icon in here, and this basically will open the chandev.xpack.host. Now, as you can see, we have two MCP, right? This is for example, the first time I trying, and this is the knowledge-based API that we already create, right? I'm gonna click that. This is the tools automatically generated, and then this is a free. And to try to using this, it's pretty simple. You have to log in with another account normally, right? So now let's try to sign up with another account, right? I'm going to put my face right here. As you can see, the URL is going to be https chandevxpack.host mcp knowledge base API, and you have to put out key in here. To get the out key, I have to sign up, right? So let's try to sign up here. I already have the John account in here, and then try to create new right here, and then try to just put the authorization name on say task. Let's save that. And then now I have the out key, right? I can just copy this and try to use this MCP server, right? And it basically will works. So let's try to go back in here. As you can see, if I click user, now there is a one user that log in and try to use our MCP server, right? And this is a john@gmail.com. And then you can click this revenue. For now, it's going to be no revenue record. But if you set your MCP with not free, right? It's paid. You have to basically go to the payment, I believe. And then in here, you can enable the Stripe payment. Just click that, right? Just enable that. And then you have to put the secret key and then the webhook secret on the Stripe. Just go to Stripe and then just put the value in here. Just pretty simple. And also basically in here, you can change the theme if you want to change that, like this theme right here. You can just click that to apply. As you can see, theme changed successfully. You can just select any theme you want that available in here. And also you can basically custom your domain, right? You can just change your domain in here, right? And then just custom the domain, right? Just put the CNAME and then all the value in here to your own domain. That's pretty cool. You can change the right here, right? The SEO, the metadata, something like that. It's pretty nice, right? The title, the description, the logo, you can change that as well right here. So now let's try to go back on here, and as you can see, the theme is changed, right? That's pretty cool. This is my Chandev XPack.host. And as you can see, we have two MCP here. I'm going to click this knowledge base API, and then we are going to try to use this one in here with the John account in here out key, right? So we can just try that on the Visual Studio Code with the Roo code extension. So here you can just click these three icons on the top and then go to MCP server. And then in here, you can just click the edit global MCP, and then you can basically just copy and paste these code right here, the JSON, and then just paste that right here, just like that. And then basically you have to change the out key, right? Just put your out key right here. So let's try to go back to the John account in here. Just copy this out key and then just paste that right here, right? Just like that. And now you can just click done and then just typing whatever you want in here, and then AI will basically answer your question based on these knowledge base API right here that we already create on these next.js, right? So basically you can just asking like what is refund policy and etc, right? Just based on this response API that we already create. So now I'm going to show you how to create the MCP with a website URL, right? This from a website right here. So you can just click that and just put your website URL right here. So anyway, I have this project in here with next.js, and then now I'm going to make that live using ngrok. So I can do like ngrok. This is the simple way to make localhost live basically, but you can always deploy that your website, or if you have your own company website, just use that, copy the URL, and you're just good to go, right? This is just for example. I'm gonna open that. As you can see, this is the website, right? We have three pages basically: home, about, and contact. Just that's it. Just for example, right? I'm gonna copy that and then go back to my create MCP right here. Just paste that and then click generate. Just wait. As you can see, now we're on the server detail, and then basically the scrap pages now is 0. Just wait for that. Normally we should have 3 pages, because in here we just have 3 pages, right? Home, about, and contact. So let's take a look here. So as you can see, we have 3 pages in here, and yes, again, you can just select the pricing whatever you want. You can do that per call or whatever, right? And then this is the text in here. You can put that as a website or whatever the website you have, like a personal website or whatever, and that basically will works. You can put the detailed description in here, right? Just put the publish, and your MCP server will basically publish. As you can see, it's published right now, right? This API endpoint. If I click this icon here, open new tab, and as you can see, we should have 3 MCP API, right? That's pretty cool. So let's take a look the GitHub of the XPack AI. And in here, basically you will see XPack AI give you the freedom to self-host your own MCP platform with this one single command right here. But why we need to self-host, right? Basically, first you have full control, everything run on your server, right? And you can add your own backend logic, connect internal APIs, or even use private AI models. And most importantly, all sensitive company data will stay inside your infrastructure, no third party involved. But where you can self-host anywhere on the VPS or cloud provider like AWS, GCP, DigitalOcean, you name it. But this one line install script works on Linux by default, but you can still run it on Mac or Windows easily using Docker. So basically you can host it anywhere. Let me show you how to run this on the Docker, right? So let's go to the this one right here, Docker Compose deployment, right? We need to just create this file and then just put this file right here, just copy and then paste that. So let's try here. I'm going to go to my terminal, and then I'm going to close the company website, and then here I'm going to create a folder called my own MCP, right? So let's cd to that folder, my own MCP. We need to basically just open that on Visual Studio Code, and inside that we are going to create the Docker Compose file. So in here I'm going to create a file called Docker Compose YAML, and then we are gonna copy and paste everything here, just paste that like this. But of course, because we are going to use Docker Compose, we need to install a Docker desktop, right? So here you can just click the download Docker desktop, just find whatever you want in here. I'm using Mac, so I'm going to click this with Apple Silicon basically. As you can see on this Docker desktop, the engine is running. So now I can just close that and then try to open the VS Code again and then open a terminal. And from here, I can basically run Docker compose app and then -d. Flag -d is basically just to make sure this is going to be run on the background, right? But we have an error in here. The version is obsolete. So I think I'm going to just remove the version. So let's try to run that again. Docker compose. We still get an error in here. I'm not sure. Failed create network my own MCP, blah, blah, blah. Overlap other on this address space. Oh yeah, that is because I have another running on 3000. So that's why I'm going to close that first. So now let's try to run that again. Docker compose app-d. As you can see, now this is running, right? It's pretty cool. So now we can just open localhost 3000. Let's do that in here. Localhost 3000, and let's take a look. Here we go. Now it's open, right? That's pretty cool. And in here, we can go to admin, right? Like on the documentation say in here, just take a look on the documentation. So this one, as you can see, after you run Docker compose app-d, you need to go to the localhost 3000/admin, right? And then just put this admin user is admin, and then admin password is 123 until 9. Great. After you log in, you will see this one right here, right? You go to MCP right here, just add MCP servers in here. You can go to from URL or upload file, and then go to this user management. You can click this revenue, payment, and etc. And yes, of course, you can go to settings, and everything in here is like the theme, it just works. You can just change the theme whatever you want, right? Everything is just basically works. So I think that's it guys for this video. And yes, of course, you can self-host this MCP service on any VPS or cloud provider. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.